This is a tutorial for using the template for writing dissertations and research papers in Microsoft Word at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School. And this tutorial is about preparing your multi-chapter document, for example, your dissertation, preparing it for printing if you've written the whole thing in one document, so you have all the chapters together in one document, and if you're using Zotero as your reference management software. If that is the case, and it may also be the case if you're using RefWorks or if you're using EndNote, I don't know, but I know it's the case, as I just mentioned, if you're using Zotero and if you're doing the whole document in one file. If that's the case, then you need to print chapter by chapter. So you need to separate out the chapters and print them one by one, and then put them back together into a single file, PDF file, when you go to turn your document in at the end. But I will talk about that in another tutorial. This is about printing chapter by chapter. So first of all, why print chapter by chapter? With Zotero and Word, and when the dissertation is in one file, you run into a problem because our style and format guide requires that at the beginning of a chapter, first of all, you have to start your footnotes over numbering by 1. That the template does that for you automatically. But also, for the first reference of a source in the chapter, in each chapter, you need to give full reference to that source. And here you see an example. I'm quoting Westerman's commentary on Genesis, and I have obviously the first citation of that source in this chapter, but it's giving me an ibid. So in order to correct that, I need to take chapter 7 out into another file, and I need to then print chapter 7 all by itself. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's because it's a little bit tricky. Now, second piece of advice that I have is, before you do anything, save your file with a new name. Alright, so we're going to come up here, we're going to go to Save As, and you can do whatever you want. I'm going to call this Chapter 7 Send. So I've saved my file, so now when I make changes, when I delete whole chapters, it's not going to completely ruin my dissertation. The other piece of advice I have, the other suggestion is, make sure that there are no more changes that you need to make in this document. You're not going to do this until you're all ready to turn in chapter 7 as your first draft of chapter 7 to your first reader, or until you're printing out your entire dissertation at the end. But once you've got this additional file, you are not going to make any changes to this document, because any changes that you make won't be in your master file, and you'll have to make them twice. Okay, so now let's get this chapter ready for printing. So again, this is what we need to do, is just separate out chapter 7 from all the rest of the chapters. What we're going to do is we're going to navigate to the end of the previous chapter, and you'll see that I am showing all characters. So that means I can see these returns, not those, but these down here. I can see, but it shows me my spaces, and most importantly, it shows me my section breaks. So since I can see my section breaks, I'm going to insert my cursor at the end of the sentence, but before the section break. I am not going to delete this section break. Now I'm going to press and hold Shift and Control, and then I'm going to press Home. That takes me to the very beginning of the document, and it highlights everything, or selects all of the text. So I have everything selected, all the text, from the very beginning of my document right up to the beginning of chapter 7. But there's a little bit of maybe a bug or a glitch, and that is if I delete all of this, let me show you. I'm going to delete it. When I come to chapter 7 and scroll down, you'll see I have my page number here. We'll fix the numbering later, but my page number is here at the bottom as it should be. But on the next page, the page number should be at the top, and it's not. In fact, it's not even at the bottom. So I'm going to back out of this. And what I need to do is not delete the section break, I think the one that's at the end of chapter 1. I'm not sure why that is, but we're going to, I'm holding down the shift key and I'm hitting page down, and that's deselecting the text at the beginning of the document page by page. So everything is still selected except for that beginning text. So I'm going to deselect all the way through chapter 1. And when I get to chapter 2, now I'm going to hit delete. And I'm going to come down and check chapter 7, page number at the bottom, page number at the top. That's good. Now I'm going to delete all of this beginning text right up until all my front matter, right up until I get to chapter 2, or that section break before chapter 2. Now I'll delete. Now I'm going to check again. So I've got chapter 7, page number, okay. And basically, I don't know if all documents are the same, but I'm now going to delete this and check again, make sure it's okay. It's okay. So now I know, yes, it's this section break. It's the one at the end of chapter 1 that for some reason screws everything up. Probably because this is the beginning. That first section sets the page numbering formatting for the whole rest of the document. So if I delete that one, then it probably affects it for the whole rest of the document. So I need to leave that one in. Alright, and now, so we've deleted everything before chapter 7. Now we're going to delete everything after chapter 7. So I'm going to use my navigation sidebar. I'm going to click on chapter 8. So that takes me right up to the end of chapter 7. I'm going to select the text. I'm going to hit Shift Control End. And this is going to get rid of my bibliography too. You might want to keep the bibliography to print, but in this case I don't, so I'm deleting it. I have to leave this return here. And so now I have, come back to the beginning, I have this blank page, chapter 7, page number at the bottom, page 2 of chapter 7, page number at the top, so everything is correct. Now all I need to do is fix this page numbering. So I'm going to click into my footnote by double clicking. Then I'm going to select the page number. Then I come up to the design section of the menu. It should already be selected when I select into the footnote footer. Then I come over to the left to page number, click on the drop down, and select Format Page Numbers. When this window comes up, I'm going to click here. I don't remember what the page number was, but you'll go back to your original document, figure out what page number chapter 7 starts on, and then you type in the page number, and that will then automatically select the option to start page numbering at a particular page number. Then you hit OK. Look at it, it's correct. And now you have your document set up with the proper page numbers. There's one more thing to do. First of all, we're going to save it. This is a big file because the fonts are embedded in the file. So it's saved, but you'll see we still have this problem where it doesn't give the full reference of the source. And so what we need to do now is refresh Zotero. Zotero needs to go and get the original data and update all of its citations. So I have a menu, special menu for Zotero up here. If you have that, you can click there and then click on Zotero Refresh, or you come over to your add-ins menu section, click on it, and then select Zotero Refresh, the icon from there, and it's going to update. You can see my cursor blinking. It's updating, and when it finishes updating, you'll see that it has the full reference, and it will be the way all through the document. So now you can save again and print out this chapter all by itself, and that's what you do for each chapter. Except in terms of printing front matter, chapter 1, and bibliography, you want those all in the same document together. And that's one big reason to print or to keep everything in one file, so that you can have the full bibliography to print out at the end of the document. So to print out front matter, chapter 1, and the bibliography, you do that from your original master file by selecting the pages that you want to print and printing them out. Once you have everything printed out, you hand collate it and turn it in. And that's all there is to it.